Alright friends, I was having trouble with my ATV. It's a Polaris Sportsman 500. It's a '07. Having problems with it shifting, and here's what I found out. I've already got it apart and figured it out, but thought maybe I'd share with you what I found, and maybe it'll help you out if you come across this in the future. But this is the where the shift linkage goes on to, and when I would pull on the shift linkage, this would not move. Um, it was I could get it to move, but it was really hard and it was crunchy and grindy, and I didn't know if I was going to break something. So I took it apart, and this is what I found out. When I took off this front piece here from the side of the ATV, and I'll show you that here in a second, I was able to remove this uh, uh, little lever here, and don't worry about it. It goes back on. It's keyed. It'll only go on one way. So I took that off. In this shaft right here that goes all the way through, it was corroded inside of here. Apparently water or something had gone down through the seal right here. There's an O-ring in here. So it was basically just some corrosion in here. I took a hammer, was able to pop this out and drive it through. It'll drive through, and you can see here that it's a shaft, and here's where I had that corrosion in this area right here. It was just basically froze up inside of this hole right here. It was just basically froze up in there. So I cleaned that all out, scrubbed it out with a brass brush, and I've got some lube in there. I cleaned this up here, and checked the O-ring here. The O-ring seems to be fine. Nothing was corroded past the O-ring. It was just this area right here that was had the corrosion. So I'm about ready to put it back together. I'll show you how that goes here in a second. Alright, so here's where that cover went on. Here's the shift shaft. You can see that's in good condition, and I've got all the parts out. And again, these are keyed, so they only go on one way. If you put it on like that, find that key slot and it slides in like that. And then got the shift, this shaft that I pulled off of that plate. And actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little bit of all-purpose grease right here, just to help it out a little bit. Maybe hit these two little all-purpose, just to help those parts. Not too much, just a little bit. It's pretty dry in there already from factory. Okay, that's that piece. Alright, this one's gonna go. Now I've got it where that key is. I know it's about the 9 o'clock position, so I'm gonna put that in there. That keyed piece is right there. I don't know if you can see that wider notch right there. Okay, that's going to go like that, and then the detent pawl is going to go right there, and then I've got a spring that's going to go down in there, down in this slot right here, and pushes up on that detent pawl into those notches. I've got to adjust that a little bit so that detent pawl will go up there. Okay, there it is with the detent spring. You can see that the detent pawl is notched in. I had to rotate the shaft here just a little bit to get that to go up, and the shift lever is in place. So now All that you need to do is I'm going to put a little more grease on this shaft right here. Just mop some of that on there. Up here. Go ahead and hit that. There's an O-ring right there too to keep that sealed up. And then this cover plate goes back on like that, and then just bolt it down. Alright, so I assembled it and then did a test, and it's working great. Shifts great now, but I'm going to put some sealant, gasket sealant on there, because the original part did have like a clear silicone sealant on that flange, on that gasket right there. So I'm going to put some of that on there, and should be good to go. Alright, got it put back together. Got the sensor on here, this electronic sensor. It has a little snap ring right here that you got to put in place. That's what keeps it from coming off. You see my gasket materials coming out there, and it's working good. I was not able to shift it before, and now there it goes. It's doing what it's supposed to do. So pretty easy fix, actually. Again, just to recap, this was frozen. I was not able to shift it. And what it ended up being was this shaft, which goes down inside of here, had just some corrosion on the inside of the shaft right here. So I took this apart, cleaned off that corrosion, greased it up a little bit, put it back together. Pretty easy fix.